Peace, loves. It's Tamara. Hopefully you guys can see me. I know it's kind of dark. But I wanted to make this video because last night I just got back from Jamaica and was there for 5 days. And I had planned this trip, a few months back. And it initially was supposed to be me by myself. But I had decided that it would have been a good idea to bring someone who lives there, was born there, so that way I can experience the fullness since it was my first trip. So I ended up deciding to invite my friend, and who is born and raised in Harborview, Jamaica. And when I had told him, he had mentioned that he didn't have the funds to be able to go on the trip. And so I told him that, it would be my pleasure, since he would be taking me around, that I would go ahead and pay for his flight, which I did. And come to find out, probably, I'd say 2 weeks in or so, he got a call from his family before we left, like 2 weeks before we left, maybe 3 weeks before we left. He got a call from his family saying that his dad found out that he had colon cancer. So, of course, throughout the 2 weeks, 3 weeks, he was getting like little calls here and there saying that his dad wasn't eating, he was losing weight, and, So we had talked saying that, it was great for the fact that he was going to be able to take this trip so he can see his dad, because he hasn't seen his dad in probably about, I'd probably say 3 years, 3.5 years, or his mom in 3.5 years. So it was going to be a great opportunity for him to see them. So part of our trip was visiting them in Harborview. And when we got there, his father was bedridden, was very skinny. And this was just this past weekend. And, we got to spend time with them. And we had told him that, he was going to be back to visit him again, obviously because of his condition, very soon, sooner than later. Well, come to find out, we got in last night. And he got a call from his family saying that his father transitioned this morning. So it's an emotional thing for me as well. He is a great friend of mine, but the deepness of divine timing is the essence of this message. And sorry, I had to stop the video for a minute. But my point is that, everything's on divine time. And sometimes we forget that there's a greater force working, and the greater force is us. But it's that force of our higher selves, and we tend to forget the reasoning of being in people's lives. And even though it may seem as minute or, why would you, as people would say, why would you want to pay for a man's plane ticket? As a woman, I don't see things like that. I used to. But I feel like when you're in tuned, every step that you make is always on point. Nothing is ever off. Everything is always on time. We're never experiencing anything that we're not supposed to be experiencing. You know what I mean? So this for me was like a great humbling experience in all aspects of my life. And the arguing and the bickering and the going back and forth sometimes is just not even worth it. You know what I mean? It's about love and compassion and giving, receiving, and looking at things in a greater light is what this taught me. So, I just wanted to share this experience with you, and just know that whenever Spirit speaks, just do it. Regardless of what people may say, just do what your heart tells you to do. You know what I mean? Like, you don't hesitate. Don't allow anybody to talk you out of what you're doing. There's a reason why you're doing what you're doing. And in the end, when that time comes, you'll see why. So just send him, some loving light, some violet light, some healing light to him and his family. And I will do the same for you guys. Thanks for listening. Peace and love.